So this is our railway tarp tent and net tent. And we have the ridge line going to 2 staves. Now these are the beaks. This one, obviously the stave is a little too close, but that's just a taut line hitch going to the beak, pulling it out. There's 8 guy lines on the sides and 1 for each ridge line. This one is set up a little bit better. I just have a trucker's hitch going there. All of the stakes are guyed out with clove hitches. This is an example of the lifter lines. I've got a taut line hitch on either patch and then a taut line hitch attaching those two, and this works really well on the windward side of the tarp. Prevents the tarp from sagging into the net tent. There are also pullouts on either side of the beak, but we haven't used those. On the inside, there's a white clothesline that runs the length of the ridge and attaches to those loops on either side. And everywhere there's a guy except for the beaks, wherever there's a loop, webbing loop, there's also these. It's another piece of webbing with a piece of cord sewn into it. And those are what Ray calls the snatch loops. And these are the snatch hooks. So there's 8 adjusting lines along the side, 1 on each end of the ridge, 1 in the middle of the ridge. And it's a 3-zipper setup here. We bought a zipper from the fabric store that's 30 inches. The one he provides, I believe, are 16 inches, which are these. Okay, so then as you get in here, you can see that there's reinforcement patches here and a cord lock. The urethane bathtub floor is sewn to the netting. And the corners are sewn on the outside. And I added this overcasting stitch so there weren't any fraying edges, but this is just straight line stitching twice, and then I went over with the overcast. Pretty much all of his seams are flat felled seams, except on the net tent they're double lap felled seams. With the extra large net tent, you sew this extra piece on, so that had to be created out of other material because of standard width of the fabric. Everything is seam sealed on the net tent on the inside. This is the coated side. The uncoated side is on the bottom, and that's worked out perfectly fine for us. The lifter patches are seam sealed on the inside, and everything else on the tarp is seam sealed on the outside, except for the hem is not, the perimeter hem is not sealed. So it's pretty simple. You attach the snatch hooks on, and then you reach inside and you just adjust the cord locks. Now of course these cord locks can pretty easily slip, so if need be, he does provide 2 extra cord locks, which I've got on here. Although just with the amount of tension that's on everything, they still tend to slip. So in the future, might consider different cord locks or a slightly different system. I haven't thought about it too much quite yet. This clothesline is adjustable. We've used it a little bit. But all in all, it's a very good system. We used it for 5 nights so far. Haven't had our dog sleep in it yet with us, but that's why we got the extra long tarp and the extra large 2-person net tent. Right, Sally?